What can you do unto others so that they may be healed inwardly? Give the person certain tasks to do. This shows the person that you trust him. If he strayed from the right path, it will prove to him and that you are convinced of his restoration. Since this is something practical, it may be the same, previous, task, or a completely new responsibility. This is especially applicable to those who made themselves guilty of serious or multiple offenses, such as former prisoners. Even though Peter was the one who denied Jesus 3 times, the Lord still appointed him to preach the gospel of Christ to the great multitude of more than 3,000 people, on the day of Pentecost. Acts 2 verse 14. Recognize the person in public. If you acknowledge others, you will also be acknowledged. Sometimes it is as basic as merely acknowledging that person's presence at a certain gathering, calling him to the podium or front, saying nice things about the person, or mentioning his name, will help to end his life of loneliness, isolation, and rejection. In the case of Bartimaeus, who suffered from blindness, Jesus gave command in front of a great crowd of people that he must be called. Bartimaeus could then realize that someone in life also regarded him as being important among other people, and also cared for him enough to want to meet his heart's desire. Mark 10 verses 49 and 52. By asking for the identity of the person who touched his clothes, Jesus wanted the woman with the issue of blood to come forward, so that everyone could see that she had been completely healed, and was no longer an outcast because of her illness. Mark 5 verses 30 and 33. The isolation of both of these diseased people, thus immediately came to an end then. Praise him in the presence of others. There are many ways in which you can publicly praise a person who needs inner healing. A compliment or even an award of some kind is very effective. These should be honest comments, not flattery. Genuine praise is required. These very clearly show your appreciation and acknowledgement of the person's good work, or use of his talents. It will also motivate him to continue doing the same, or even a better type of work or level of effort. Even a certificate of recognition or small gift given as a token of appreciation does wonders in this regard. Declare the person free before others. Such a liberating pronouncement is far better than retaliation. People or their loved ones, being hurt by some individual or institution, creates a need for some kind of closure or revenge. Their consequent bad actions are therefore a means of retribution to satisfy this need. Revenge for wrong things done to you is not the best or only solution. Romans 12 verse 19 reads, "Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord." 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 15 also says, "See that none render evil for evil unto any man, but ever follow that which is good." If you take revenge, you are no better than the other person who wronged you, since you have then also made yourself guilty of bad words or deeds. A public affirmation is especially necessary if a person did something wrong to a whole group of people, such as in the case of someone who shot at a certain crowd. You will do it at a place where the relevant people are present, or from where they will be able to get the message of the acceptance of his changed behavior, because you do it in public. It is a better indication of true forgiveness and pardon of guilt, as there is then no opening that is left to go back on it again. Take the person with you to social events. Some people have been forgotten by those who were once close to them. On the other hand, other people's friends and relatives do not worry about, or bother with them. simply because they seem to have nothing to offer, and cannot give them anything in return. You may be in the same situation tomorrow, due to illness or major financial problems, and then desire others not to disregard you. Take him with to social functions such as a family outing, birthday party, or church camp. Such actions will help him realize that there are people who care for him, and are not ashamed of him. This is especially applicable to the poor, the physically and mentally challenged, the aged, and other outcasts and families. Luke 14 verses 13 and 14. It is often sad to see how their families are willing to spend a large amount of money on various funeral arrangements when they die, but are never or seldom willing to spend some money on a decent birthday party for them when they are alive. Send him a card or a gift, a card of acknowledgement, congratulations, or remembrance, or a small gift, an award, an email, or a simple cell phone text message that communicates these things, will show the person practically that someone does care for him. Handmade gifts, birthday and other cards, are very effective in this regard, as these serve as indication that time and effort were made in order to convey a special and pleasant message to him. Show the other person kindness. Give him what he needs, or would really like to have. This is especially required if the person always lives from hand to mouth, because he would then seldom, or never be able to afford it by himself. Maybe it is a nice leather jacket, or a piano keyboard. Your acts of kindness might also include that you restore to the person that which you yourself have not taken from him, Psalm 69 verse 4, or that which you have not damaged. If the person is already deceased, show your kindness to his wife, child, or parents. Buy, or give them something that the deceased always wanted for them, or that will always remind them of him. This may be a special stove for his family, or a nice enlarged framed photo of the deceased, taken at a special function. After the death of King Saul, King David, for example, showed kindness to Saul's disabled grandson, Mephibosheth, by giving him back all of his grandfather's land, and letting him eat at his table. 2 Samuel 9 verses 1 and 7. Show the person that he is of value. The sad part of life is that the value of a person's life is often only fully considered when he dies. At the time of their death, the media usually reports extensively and elaborates on the lives of well-known people with power, position, and wealth. It therefore often seems that their lives mattered more than that of other people. What makes the death of such a person different from that of someone else? What makes the death of a person who dies due to one thing different to that of someone else, or of someone killed by a different thing? Why do the names of only certain people appear on memorial boards, memorial plaques, walls of remembrance, and walls of hope, but not those of others, who might also have suffered, just in a different manner? What is it that makes the death of someone by murder more noteworthy than a death due to disease? Is it the fact that it was caused by violence? What makes the death of someone murdered in a certain manner, or under certain circumstances, more striking than the death of someone murdered in a different manner and circumstances? Are these things really supposed to matter? What makes the deaths of people who died due to a certain disease more noteworthy than those who died due to a different sickness? Why are certain people treated as if their lives do not count? The effect of death, in all cases, is exactly the same for the loved ones remaining behind. It brings about a major loss and void in their lives. As the creator of all mankind, God sees the death of every person in exactly the same light. All lives matter equally before God. The lives of men and the lives of women, the life of a white man and the life of a black man, the life of the poor and of the rich, both have the same value. The life of a king is just as precious as the life of a beggar. A person who wandered off on the wrong path, and made gross mistakes in life, thus also needs to know that his life is still worth something. As a Christian, you will therefore not constantly confront him, and remind him of his mistakes, through questions and statements such as, "Who has made you sick? Who caused you to be in such a mess?" You have brought these things upon yourself. Rather, you would be the one going alongside him, to help him get up, and move forward. Just like the paralyzed man that Peter helped at the temple gate, many people are waiting for someone to take them by the right hand and lift them up, so that what is weak may become strong, thus enabling them to stand and move forward on their own. Acts 3 verses 6 and 7. At times, the help might not even come from the person who identified the need himself, but rather from someone else whom he made aware of this need. In the eyes of man, the value of a person's life decreases when he becomes unemployed, old, sick, disabled, a blue-collar worker, homeless, financially broke, a drug addict, an alcoholic, or a prostitute. People place less value on anyone or anything that mainstream society disregards. However, just like a $1,000 note does not lose its value when folded, partially torn, wrinkled, or stained, but still retains its $1,000 buying power guaranteed by its signatory, such a person also needs to be brought to the realization that, irrespective of various harmful things, the value of his life did not change in the sight of God, who understands every person's life. He must understand that he is still special in God's eyes, and that the things that make a person's life special are not according to the thinking of modern society. The Lord regards and loves him just the same as the person who is healthy, good-looking, successful, a boss, financially independent, and famous. Acts 10 verse 34. Showing your care and appreciation for who the person is, what he has done, and what he is doing, will help him feel and experience this. Unless people are shown that they are appreciated, that is, unless it is practical, they will not be able to fully believe and understand their value, or the value of what they are doing. Just as with money, when something is appreciated, more value is being added to it, so that it will then be worth more than what it was before.